Mahlantabeni made a video to South Africans who might have witnessed the stories that came out concerning her trying to
Ngiyanibingelela lonke mzansi wase-South Africa. Ngiyenza le video because of ngifuna ukuxolisa. Ukufuna ukuthatha impilo yami, angikase ngizicabanga, ngeke sengicabangela abantwana bami. Ngibe selfish. Ngicela ukuthi ngixolele kuko konke lokho mzansi. Nami angizenzanga. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi benwabona amavidiyo wami ku-TikTok. Even though abantu bebakhomenta ngendlela bakhomenta ngayo, bengingabuza ubuhlungu by that time. But ngigcine sengibona ukuthi this thing le ibuhlungu. Angikhonanga ukucontrol imizwa yami. Angikwazanga ukucabangela abantwana bami, ngaba selfish. Kuko konke lokhu bekungizwisa ubuhlungu. But ngibonga uNkulunkulu wami engimkhonzayo nabezimu basekhaya ukuthi bangikhusele, ngibe namandla ukuthi ngikhona ukudlula kulesi simo. Njengoba benwabona amavidiyo wami ku-TikTok, guys, bengasinto yokudlala lento bengiyenza.
I'm not going to play the whole video because for the purpose of this video, I'm not talking about that. But I want to tell you the value of life. I'm telling you, many people don't know it. The value of what it means to be breathing today. For some people, it takes that for them to realize, I'm here. I'm here. And I'm not here by mistake. I'm here because God has purposed. Right? We always say, God gives and God takes. And I don't think that puts it well. I think God gives, God receives. So God didn't take. This idea that God took, it's actually phrased very wrongly. Is that God received us back into life. That's if we believe in Him and His Son. Right? But if we believe contrary, then you got that to deal with. But that's the core root of it all. God has put us here, and the fact that you are breathing today means something. The day the devil convinces you we are better off without you, you will cross on the other side, you'll find. It's funny enough, when you read the story of Lazarus and the rich man, it speaks about this man who dies. He was rich. He didn't believe in God, is in such. And when he dies, he finds himself in hell, the Bible says. And it says that he started to ask to be taken back so that he can warn his brothers. It's very interesting what Father Abraham said to him. Go search that story and read it up, you'll see. He tells him, they have the prophets, and that's enough. They don't need a message from a person coming from the dead. The verse is very clear. We don't need a person telling us they died and went to heaven. We don't need that. The verse says you don't need that record or that account. So what's written in the books and in the prophets, it's enough to tell you what to expect. So I thought that was interesting. Why wouldn't experience be more? Think about it. You would think if a person has gone and they come back, that should mean more. According to the story that Jesus tells, that's not the case. The book is enough. This particular whole thing, even when Jesus lands on the scene and the disciples are at the mountain, it's called the Mount of Transfiguration. For those that are not Christian, you can go and Google it. It's a scenario where Jesus went to the mountains with some of his disciples. He left some others at the bottom. So those who were closest to him in ministry, he went higher the mountain with him, showing us the importance of our fellowship with him. There is such a thing as relationship. We know a lot of times in the world we think, we are all created by God. Yeah, but when you go to the Mount of Transfiguration, it shows you there is fellowship that is necessary. You can't say we were all created by God, and then you forget there's fellowship. He left others at the bottom. He went up with thingy, and then he went up with 3. up at the top. That tells you fellowship is at a different thing. Now, the question is, how far do you want to go? For some people, they're just fine being, we are all the children of God. Okay, continue with that one. He went up to the top of the mountain with them. The disciples then say to Jesus, it's good, Moses and Elijah appear before them. And they say, hey, it's good that we are here. So it's good for the followers of Jesus to be there to see that we facilitate the meaning of this to the earth. That's what they were thinking. And he says we should build 3 temples. So now they start thinking about how to translate, how to translate what they are seeing on the mountain. Let's make 3 temples. One for Moses, one for Elijah, and one for Thingy. Now, what would that represent? Moses, the law. Elijah, the prophets. And Jesus, salvation and the new covenant. And so they were like, yeah, let's build all 3. And that is not what happened. Instead, you hear a voice coming from heaven that says, this is my beloved son, hear him. So contrary to this idea that we need to build systems for all 3, contrary to these systems that, we have ancestors and we have God. And then there are those who are dead. Those who are dead, they probably have closer. He says, nope. This is my beloved son, whom I please, hear him. It's very specific. You hear him. There is no other message outside of him. If the world can distract you to what he is saying to you, you're in trouble. The world has a tendency to do that. The world in its communication, people are at holidays, you are on social media, you're just scrolling, you're doom scrolling. Look at it now and it's scrolling, I'm like, wow, okay, people are over there, wow, this is nice. Oh, these people are still friends, and you see people taking pictures together, it's nice. You're able to appreciate it for what it is. Their life. It's not mine. I hope they're living that life for real. You must cut between the borders of what their life is like. And, now we are friends with people who were friends with in high school. You see them doing this, you see them doing that. You now start grading back to your life. Now it feels like, I'm better off. Life is better off without me. You start feeling like that. Because of all these things you are seeing. And what ends up happening is that you are not hearing what he has to say to you. This is my beloved son. Apart from everyone that you are seeing out there, of how you want to translate the message you are seeing at the Mount of Transfiguration, this is my beloved son, hear him. You hear him. Don't be out there listening to ancestors. Hey, there was Moses, there was Elijah. They were once human. We should listen to them. Nope. It's my beloved son, you hear him. Jonah goes to minister to the people, and then when he comes back in his pride of wanting to be proven right, he can't wait for fire to rain down and judge the people. When it doesn't happen, he falls into depression. He wants but even though the opposite has happened, which was that the city would repent, if the city repents, there is no judgment that's coming. He wants the judgment. Why? He does not care about the outcome. Doesn't care about the outcome. So depression makes you narrow-minded. It narrow-minds you. You narrow-mind. Which is what this lady is saying now. So that she was so selfish. And it took this experience for her to see, hey, I'm better off being here. We are better off here. We fight the issues we are fighting. We deal with them. Yeah, trouble deals with you. You deal with it back. Trouble dishes you. Dish it back. Problem with most people, you want to run to ancestors so that the ancestors will tell you. They didn't know how to solve their own life. It is God who's the creator of the heaven and the earth. That's the one who knows how to resolve those things. You were told, kneel down, burn an incense. What you're inviting people now. Once you start doing things that, this is my beloved son, hear him. Leave the dead, leave the ancestors, leave those that hear him. Don't go to the Mount of Transfiguration, then get your own message. Don't try to translate what you see there and then try to bring it back down here. You have your own desires if you're Jonah. You have your own desires of what you want to see down here. You're probably not going to see that. But be satisfied with what you see God's results are. When you see God's results, be satisfied with those results. This year I wanted to do this. You didn't get to do it. Be satisfied with God's results. Your results, the results you wanted, they were not going to do you any good. Can you in your heart say, yes, God was right. There was no way I had to be there. We all feel, no, I should have been there, Says who? You get there too early, accidents happen. You will be there when God has set the time for you to be there. Don't create pressures that you don't need. That's exactly what happened with Jonah. Jonah wants these pressures. The results must show there. What he sees, what he heard the voice of God say, he must see it now. And God says, no, there's different results. This is the result that has come out. The people have repented. No, Jonah wants fire and brimstone. No, these are the results you are seeing. He's not happy with that. The book ends with Jonah in this position of depression. Bear in mind, Jonah had died. And he had come back to life. And even at that state, he still could not be consoled. Why? What he wanted something out of it. You want something, you don't get it. Can you sit down and say, this is exactly what God wanted me to have this year? I trust that this particular thing that God has allowed to be this year has a result tomorrow. I'll see it. I live to witness that good. But no, you'll be depressing yourself, you'll be pushing yourself, you want to see things that you know nothing about. Yeah, this must have happened, that must have happened. If this didn't happen, you continue thinking that. Let me tell you the quickest way to resolve a state of sadness or depression. You must quickly find your place of motivation to get better. Me, the whole year, you wouldn't know I have problems. You wouldn't know. Why? Because I have quick routes back to my motivation. Quick. I do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. That's why sometimes you'll hear me saying, it took me 3 hours to make this video. It took me 3 hours to make this video. Because I'm having problem after problem. If I just sit down and not do the video, and I just sat down and I thought about the problem of me not being able to finish this video, it discourages. But the moment I upload that video, it gets 100 people watching it. And they say, yo, I needed to see this. Boom. Whatever sadness I had or heaviness departs. It departs. Why? Because that work has been rewarded. That work is rewarded. I'm seeing why it was necessary I put that video at that time. Stick around. You want to go where? Can't wait to go. You want to go. You are going where? Relax. Relax. Do not let the enemy convince you we are better off without you. Don't allow the enemy to convince you we are better off without you.